Hello, my beautiful queens. Welcome to another episode of the EmpowHERed Woman podcast. I am your host, Marilyn Shimp, and I am so excited that you're joining us for another conversation. I cannot believe how fast the year is flying by, but I have to tell you, I'm having an absolute blast with this podcast. And I definitely wish I would have gotten out of my own way and started it sooner. And I want to sincerely thank all of you for rocking with us so far along the way. And if you're listening for the first time, I want to let you know that this podcast was put together as an avenue to empower women all over the world to create a movement, to build a community of women who celebrate and support one another. And I am simply the conduit that God is using to hopefully inspire and uplift you. Today, I am so excited that I have the queen on with me. We have these conversations and we just end up pouring life into each other. And I thought, you know what? Who better to have join us than her? So Malikah, welcome and thank you so much. Please tell our listeners a little bit about you.
All right. Thank you, love. Thank you for having me. I'm Malikah, like she stated. I own a massage business here in Akron, Ohio. It's called A Queen's Touch, LLC. So if you're looking for any massage needs, you can go to my website, www.aqueenstouchllc.com. I want to thank Marilyn again for having me on because it's not too often you meet women who want to empower one another. There's so much gossip and degrading going on, and that's what's, plastered on the TVs and things of that nature. So people have it in their mindset like, oh, don't help that sister out, just belittle her, kick her while she's down. So, when she was going to do her podcast, and name it Empowered, like that was just, it fits, her mindset, her goals. And I'm just grateful to be here to give my 2 cents and be a part of this movement.
Yeah, I'm super excited to have you. Super excited. And y'all, listen, if you are in Northeast Ohio, you got to go to this one and be touched by the queen. I'm telling you, I got up out of her chair. I came out of that room and she said, "Ooh, girl, you got massage hair." Like, what is massage hair? I don't know. Must have been good.
That's definitely a compliment. That is a compliment. So yes.
But I felt amazing. So please link up with the queen.
Thank you.
So we were chit-chatting, we were texting back and forth about, what are we gonna talk about on this podcast, right? Because we could go 1,000 different directions, be on here for 3 hours, and nobody wants to listen to a podcast for 3 hours. So Malikah, she had a phenomenal topic and might be a little controversial for some of y'all, and some of y'all might love it, but I'm super excited because I think this one's going to be a little spicy.
All right. Yes. So today's episode, we will be discussing whether women are prayed for, and that's prayed with an A, or are women prayed on, and that's prayed with an E. I would kind of like to get your thoughts first, Marilyn, before I start diving in.
Whew, okay, well, so this definitely could be very controversial. I think one of the key things that came to me as I was starting to think about it is, as women, we have to be careful that we are not preyed upon, and we have to stay prayed up with an A, right? I think it is just super important that we include a prayer of protection in our prayer life, because, by design, we should be striving to live a Christ-like life. And that's pray with an A, not pray with an E. And especially having a young girl in college, it's very important. We've always been very open with these types of conversations, and you have to be cognizant of the situations you put yourself in. You have to be cognizant of how you carry yourself, right? The types of behaviors that you display. And I mean, I hate to say it, but how you dress.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't be out there wearing, a bikini top and not expect to get looked at or hollered at.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, should we be able to freely dress the way we want? Yes, absolutely. But you have to know what comes with that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And you can't be getting mad if some dudes are hollering at you walking by because you look good in a bikini top or some booty shorts.
Right.
Right?
Right. You're right.
What are your thoughts on it?
Okay, so I'm gonna play devil's advocate a little bit here. So you were saying that we have to basically watch over our shoulders all the time in regards to our situations, our surroundings, the company we keep, what we wear. Why do you feel like that is such, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? Why do you feel that that is such like the number one rule as far as women? Like, men don't have to really walk up and down the street and be like, oh, I have to watch, what I wear, or such and such might get the wrong idea, or they don't have to worry about walking down a dark alley at night. I mean, yeah, they may get robbed, but I'm pretty sure they won't, get beaten or raped or killed even,
Mm-hmm.
So do you think that there are societal pressures for women to live this straight cornered right angle? If you go too much this way, it's now an obtuse angle. And if you go a little too much that way, now it's acute. Like, do you think that there is a happy medium where I can walk down the street in the summertime in a bikini top and some shorts and be minding my business, and you mind yours, think what you want to think, but keep that thought to yourself, for instance, the first time that a situation happened, I was 10 years old. I mean, I've always been, a nice figured young lady. However, no grown man should have made this comment of, when you turn 18, you're going to be a baddie.
No.
You know what
No.
I'm like pigtails and beads. I was still wearing beads at that age. You know what I mean? And it's just like, are women objectified by the opposite sex? Like, are we just these things that you want to look at, touch, grab, feel, do what you feel? Or, do you really see us as people? Because in my eyes, women are powerful. I mean, back in the day, you could check the history books. Men were going to war over one woman.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So they knew that their nations were only as great as the women in them. And I think society has become so misogynistic and so, oh, you got to do this way, or you're considered a slut, or you're considered this, or and it's just like, if that's the way she wants to dress, that's the way she wants to dress.
Mm-hmm.
Because men could wear, what they want to wear. If you want to put on some heels and a dress today, who are we to judge?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that we're uplifted, even if you're in a relationship, marriage, we're not uplifted. It's like, we're seen as an afterthought. And that's why I feel like a lot of our rights are being slowly taken away from us. Because who is the government to say, with a panel full of men, what we can and cannot do with our bodies?
Come on.
You don't have a female organ to determine that. I should carry something that may have been created from incest.
I totally agree with you.
And
it should be a personal decision. It should be that woman's decision about what she wants to do with her body or what that body is going to produce.
Exactly.
Right.
So,
and back to your societal pressures, absolutely 1,000,000% there are societal pressures. There are stereotypes of women. We have grown up, I mean, we're fairly close in age. We have grown up seeing that. And we grew up in two different cultures and still saw the same crap.
Dang, it's universal.
The same crap was happening, right?
Yeah.
12-year-olds, 13-year-old girls getting pregnant by older men. What? It's disgusting.
It is.
And it was brushed under the rug
and
hush, hush. And you don't talk about it because the family's ashamed of it. Well, because we didn't talk about it, it made us think and create these beliefs in our mind, in the back of our heads, that it was okay. Nobody had to pay for that. So boom, we become a grown woman and we're like, well, I mean, there's no repercussions for anything. So either I'm just going to do whatever I want and go buck wild and I don't care what happens.
Right.
Can nothing happen to them anyways.
Right.
Or it's the opposite end of the spectrum where I'm going to crawl into this hole. Right. And I'm just going to be super uber protective of myself. And that middle is where we have to find.
Yeah, well, but why do we have to live in a constant, I guess, fear for the sake of appearance? Like, I don't wear certain things because that's my preference. You know what I mean? And it may not look nice on me or to me. So, I mean, why does me wearing something justify why I might have gotten, raped or anything like that? You get what I'm saying? Like that notion doesn't sit well with me. It doesn't. Oh, she got raped because this, that, and the third. And I'm not saying that I did. I'm just speaking.
Right.
But it's ridiculous. There was another incident. I was in college. A couple of my friends and I, we had went out to this well-known bar up in Cleveland. And, we were just walking through the crowd. I mean, literally just walking through the crowd. And for some reason, this guy just took it upon himself to go ahead and grab and smack. Okay. And out of reflex, I turned around and I grabbed and I twist. And I said, I didn't give you permission to touch me. Don't touch me. I'm not a thing that you can just touch because you feel like it. And I think that they have certain standards that they live by, that it's okay. Like, if my son ever came to me and told me that an adult, was touching on him or, trying to engage in, sexual intercourse or whatever, she's going to get, the third degree, just like a man would if it were my daughter. You know what I mean?
I would probably be in jail.
Exactly, because what's right is right. Like, you're an adult. Like, why are you targeting children? Like, that is wild to me. That's wild. But some fathers be like, oh, well, that's good. That's how. Now you're teaching your son that that's okay. Yeah. And it's not.
No, it's not okay.
It's not okay.
It's not okay at all. And I think we've got, I think, two glaring issues out of this conversation in particular. I think we've got the issue of the aggressor, which I would say most of the time is a male, not always, but most of the time is, who are not educated to respect women. And then we've got women who are not educated to respect themselves enough.
Yes.
What you did at that club where your reflex was to turn around and say, I didn't give you permission to touch me. There's a large percentage of women, all ages, young women, middle-aged women, old women, who would not do that.
Yeah, no.
Because they haven't been taught to respect themselves. And I don't know about you, but I feel I think I said this in a podcast the other day. I think as women, we can feel when things are starting to shift.
Yes, I agree.
And I feel a shift. Maybe it's not complete societal yet, but I feel a shift in where women are starting to stand up and say, you're not going to treat me that way.
Yes.
I am a queen.
Yes.
I can do anything. I can be anything. I can act how I want. I can talk how I want. Obviously, in a respectful manner or whatever. I'm not saying just go wild
Right.
out or whatever, but there's a place for that. But
disclosure.
I think women in general, there is a movement starting.
Because we're tired.
We're just not taking any more shit.
We're fired. We're tired and we're fired up, and we are, I wouldn't even say regaining our independence, because a lot of us have always been independent thinkers, at least. And times have changed. Some roles are reversed where the woman is the breadwinner for the family. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So is it okay if she comes home and she's like, well, you get me a beer, and if you don't have my dinner ready, I'm gonna beat you? And you know what I mean? If that were to happen, then
I'm sure that wouldn't fly.
Exactly. That's what. Oh, it's like, it's a reciprocated thing of respect. And I think a lot of people lose respect for the other party. And, back in my day, I had a lot of growing to do in regards to that as well. But I always respected myself first. That way, nobody could come along and try to disrespect me, because if they had tried to, I would voice it then. So I wouldn't seem passive or passive aggressive. No, I'm letting you know, like, this is my boundary. You've crossed it. We cannot cross this again. This is your warning. So if they proceeded to try again, then it was okay. You have to, I have to remove myself, because you heard me the first time.
I didn't stutter.
You heard me first. So yeah, but I do. Even with having children, like, I want women to really pay attention to their partner, like really get to know your partner, his family or her family, and really see how they are frustrated, mad, just because things are always going good and going great and you may not have hiccups. Just be mindful, because once you're pregnant or when the baby comes, people show a totally different side. And this may be a child or children that this, person like literally on their knees and begged you to keep, for one. And still turned around and did like some foul, type of thing. So just be mindful, just be careful of that. And trust your instincts. I would definitely say trust your instincts. If you feel like it's a red flag, it's a red flag.
It's a red flag all day long.
Not an
one inkling. It's a red flag.
Red flag.
Right? So, don't ignore it. We have to become more self-aware.
Yes.
And more aware of the things that are happening around us, to us, for us, right? Mm-hmm. On behalf of us.
Right.
All the things, right? We've got to pay attention to it more closely. Mm-hmm. And I think as women, we get so wrapped up in everybody else. I know for me, that's been most of my life. Mm-hmm. It wasn't until a year and a half ago that I really, truly found me, who I am, what my passion is, what my purpose is, why God put me on this earth.
Right.
Right. I spent 40 plus years, right? From a little girl. I was the girl on the playground that when somebody fell off the jungle gym, I was there.
Right.
I remember vivid memories of being the girl that's holding somebody's hand when they're crying, or being the girl in middle school and high school that all the kids with problems came to.
Yep. Same.
I'm just a nurturer, and Most females are.
Mm-hmm.
We are genetically made to be nurturers.
Right.
We are
And
designed that way. And we can so easily get lost in everyone else
mm-hmm.
that we just forget who we are. We forget what we want. We
Mm-hmm.
forget what makes us happy. We
Mm-hmm.
forget what our boundaries are.
Right.
Because there are none. We just commit to everything to make
Mm-hmm.
everybody happy, right? And what that does ultimately is cause a loss of self-respect.
That, yes. And a waging war inside of us too, where we commitment towards our partners, our children, our jobs. So, as you see, with my postings, take some time out to do some things for yourself. Because if, like I said, if you aren't taking care of you, how are you going to take care of others?
Yeah. Get a massage, shameless.
Yes. 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 Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but you're so right that, we could go off on a whole tangent about self-care. We're going to have to do a part two on self-care, because you got some amazing tips on self-care. But this subject of being prayed for or preyed upon,
Mm-hmm.
it's unfortunate that there will always be a group of society that we cannot impact or affect.
Right.
Right. Hopefully we can continue to put positive messaging out in the world. We can continue to inspire and uplift and encourage women to be the best version of themselves, which includes all the things we talked about before. But there will always be that group.
Mm-hmm.
And, I want to say that I believe it is super important, critical even, that we make sure we have a circle.
Yes. A support circle.
That is going to pray for us.
Yes.
And not prey on us.
Yes. And have discernment in that as well. I've lost a few people who I considered, really good friends, just based off of small misunderstandings. And speaking to them, later on, it was like, okay, I kind of see it wasn't necessarily my actions. It was how you took my actions. And you were passive on it and didn't speak up. So you were creating this beef, inside of your head. And I'm just like, I don't really know, what's going on. So yeah, just be careful who you call friends too, and share vibes with, because they will prey on you. And that's it, with an E.
With an E. And I believe it's so important as you evolve and you grow and you become the best version of yourself, that you do use that discernment, right? Because just because they've always been your bestie, you might be connected by blood. It might not just be friend.
Right.
Right. They only know what they knew about you, not necessarily what's new about you. So they don't know how to accept and react the new version of you because they're stuck standing still.
And they don't like it. They like the old version of you where, they had the one up, or, now that you're this new and improved, they're uncomfortable. And a lot of people don't like to be uncomfortable. So they'll do your name, bring up old things that may have happened. And as long as, you've come to terms with it and you have forgiven yourself and move forward, nothing can break you at this point. Nothing can break you at this point. So yeah, you can talk all the bad stuff you want to talk about. That's fine. I'm past it. Like I'm better now. Yeah. So
I'm over it.
Yeah, like I'm better now. So
yeah.
What else do you have to talk about?
Yeah, what else? You got something new to talk about?
Right.
The cycle of rehashing the old stuff it's not working for me anymore.
Yes. You are so right, though.
And why can't we just celebrate each other? Why can't we just celebrate each other's wins?
It's
I mean, that would be like, so you and I started a podcast like within a week of each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're way ahead of me. You've recorded way more episodes than me.
Ella?
You have. I mean, I could be like one of those chicks and be like, Malikah, oh, she can't get ahead of me. Oh, she thinks she's better than me. No, I'm celebrating you. I'm sharing your stuff. I'm inviting you on here because I think it's amazing.
Thank you.
I want you to do 50 times more than me. Blow up, girl.
Love you.
Just take me with you.
Got you. What kind of suitcase do you want? We going. We gonna take this internationally. Watch.
Let's do it. It's happening.
Put it in them show.
It's happening. It's happening. The doors that are opening because you are living in your purpose can't be explained.
You're right. I literally cried the other day. I was just like, I asked for this and it's happening like as I'm thinking about it, and the next day it's like something new and I'm like, okay. All right. I'm listening. I'm the rebel anymore. I'm listening.
And isn't it amazing when you finally make the decision to really latch on to that purpose?
Yes. It's fulfilling.
It's
like you feel lighter. It's like you're literally walking on cloud like 9, like you're floating. It's easy. It's not, and it just comes like that, and you're just like, anybody else see that? Because I did that. I did that. Yeah. That's awesome. So yeah.
And it's comes in all shapes and sizes too, right? You are so blessed that your purpose is your career.
Yes.
Right? Not everyone can say that. And that's okay. Your purpose doesn't have to be your career.
Right.
But my purpose is not my career. My career is something else, selling technology. Right now, I get to lead an amazing team and help them live fulfilling lives inside and outside of work, which is, my fulfilling part of that. But if I could just say one thing is just stop ignoring it. Stop ignoring the signs, right? If something keeps, how when you say something, Siri listens to you on your phone, right? All the time, right? So, yeah. So magically, right, something shows up in your Facebook feed that you talked about last night. Yeah. If those signs keep popping up, stop ignoring them.
Right.
Do something about it.
Right.
They're gifts from God.
They are.
He's feeding you. He's giving you everything you need. It's like the story of the house that the big flood and the person was on the roof, right? And God's like, I sent you a boat, I sent you a helicopter, I sent you a raft, I sent you a life preserver, and you refused them all. I can't do no more for you. You ignored all of my help and all of my signs. Right. So that kind of all plays into everything we said.
Yes.
Right. I mean, just living a purposeful life helps you grow. It helps you develop. It helps you evolve into the best version of yourself. And as you're doing that, you relearn who you are, what fulfills you, what your passions are. You relearn self-respect and self-care and self-love.
Yes.
And that all plays into being in the right circles. So you make sure you have people that do pray on you.
Yes.
P-R-A-Y.
Yes.
They pray for you. They pray with you. They love on you. They encourage you. They pour into you instead of tearing you down, which is what you started this with, right?
Yes. Can I share with you 2 books that I have?
I would love that.
Let me get this one and this one. So the first one is Awaken Your Inner Goddess by Dr. Dara Goldberg. Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. So if any ladies need help, this is a great starter book. Very easy read. It'll really make you think and dive into some of your past trauma so you won't be like a repeat offender as well. And then since we're talking about protection, there are like protection spells. I wouldn't say I'm into witchcraft or anything like that, but there are certain spells in that book as well that you can bless your home, bless your energy. As a licensed massage therapist, I deal with a lot of different energies on a daily basis. So I have to make sure that I cleanse mine, whether it be using sage or using crystals. And I keep crystals in my room for that reason. I'll sage around myself just to kind of get rid of all those negative entities that may come in on a client, because I am very like in an intimate setting, touching them with my bare hands, etc. So just make sure that you do stay prayed up. And if you don't have anybody praying for you, pray for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Write it down, put it on a sticky note. So that way you see it, every day. And as a reminder that, I am worthy of being praised. Like I am worthy of all the abundance and the blessings that are about to come, and all negativity, be returned to sender. So just kind of
that.
Yeah.
I love everything about that. And you know what? Send us both a note.
Okay.
Shoot us a message on, one of the social medias, or shoot us an email. I'll make sure all the info is in the notes of the podcast so you know how to get with us. Send it to us. We'll pray for you.
Yeah.
Right? We've got to lift each other up.
Mm-hmm. Always. Always. Always.
Always. We've got to lift each other up.
I love it.
This has been super fun. Oh my gosh, it's been like a half an hour, 40 minutes. I don't know. It's been a long time. But this has been so much fun and amazing. And we'll probably do a part 2 on self-care and self-love.
Okay. Will do.
That's going to be fun. So look for that, y'all.
And my god sister, she's like a life coach too, who kind of promotes that if you want her to hop on as well.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Fun.
The more the merrier. We need all the empowerment we can get in these streets.
Yes. I love it. You're awesome.
Oh, you are too. Thank you so much for this.
Oh, you're welcome. You're so
welcome. All right. So that, I think, is going to conclude our podcast for today.
Okay.
And as always, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for choosing us and spending this time with us. There's a gazillion and a half other podcasts you can listen to. If this blessed you and you think of somebody that it could help, please share it. Share it with a friend. Like it, comment, put a review on it. It helps the algorithm so it can get to other people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So thank you, and we will talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye. Peace and love.